Let's have now the zero, negative, and rational exponent. So yung aking mga given. Okay. So let me explain to you the zero exponent. So sabi sa zero exponent, x raised to 0 is equals to 1. But x must not be equal to 0 kasi hindi pwede yun. 0 raised to 0 is indeterminate. So hindi po pwede yun. It's not possible. So paano ba natin na-obtain that x raised to 0 is equals to 1? Recall natin si quotient rule. Sabi sa quotient rule, x raised to m over x raised to n, di ba pinagmaminus yung exponent nila? So, di ba, magiging 0 lang yun kapag pareho yung number. So, ibig sabihin, m is equals to n. So, example, we have x raised to 5 over x raised to 5. So, ang mangyayari, x raised to 5 minus 5. And ang mangyayari dyan ay x raised to 0. So, paano naman nasabi na x raised to 0 yun ay equals to 1? Ganito lang po yung concept. Remember, yung same value a value divided by the same value is equals to 1. Kaya naging equals to 1 siya. Kumbaga, tanggalin natin yung pagiging exponential. Example is 5 over 5. Pareho siyang ng number. Hindi naman natin pwedeng sabihin 0 yan. Kasi 5 divided 5 is 1. So, kaya naging 1 po. So, ito pong x raised to 5 over x raised to 5. Pareho kasi silang raised to 5. Kaya nag-equals sa 1. So, kailan nagiging 1 kapag naka-raise ang isang number sa 0. So, depende ha. May case kasi na ganito yung nangyari. So, kapag 3 raised to 0, ayan, 1 talaga yan kasi naka-raise. Pero kapag yung negative nasa labas and then naka-raise to 0, your answer will be negative 1. Bakit? Kasi yung 0 naka-raise lang kay 3 lang. Si 3 lang yung naka-exponent kay 0, hindi naman kasali yung negative. So, maging positive 1 yan kapag ganito. Ibig sabihin, kasali yung negative na yun, so naka-raise to 0, kaya magiging answer nyo ay 1 pa rin. Okay, so let me give you an example. Wait lang ha, given ko. Okay, so example for this is 18 raised to 0. So, hindi yan 1 tapos yung 8 na naka-raise to 0 ha. So, that is 18 raised to 0, kaya mag-equal yan sa 1. Okay, kapag 6x raised to 0. Siyempre, yung 6 pa din, yung x raised to 0, yun yung magiging 1. Kasi yun lang naman yung naka-raise to 0. Not unless 6 and x is in the parentheses. So, bago naka-raise to 0. So, 6 yung answer. So, kapag naman ganito, di ba naka-raise to 0? Ayan, 1 na agad yan. Paano naging 1? Ganito. Kasi, parang power rule, di ba? Minumultiply yun. So, let me erase 1 muna. So, 3 times, di ba, may x raised to 3 times 0, y raised to 2 times 0. Siyempre, any number multiplied to 0 is equals to 0. Kahit 0 pa yan, 0 times 0, 0 pa din. So, we have x raised to 0, y raised to 0. And sabi natin, a number raised to 0 is equals to 1. So, 1 times 1. O, di ba, 1 pa rin. Yun. Okay? And then, let's see, for the last is negative 10 m raised to 0. So, ano lang ba yung naka-raise to 0? Yung m lang. So, yung negative 10 pa din. Then times 1. Parang kagaya nito. Yan. So, final answer is negative 10. Okay, so, that happens when you have a negative exponent, kahit pa naka-fraction form. Another example in different color para alam niyo kung saan ako nagsasalita. Halimbawa, x raised to 5 over y squared, tapos na-raise natin 0. So, parang ganito lang din. X raised to 5 times 0 and y raised to 2 times 0 kasi power of a quotient. So, we have x raised to 0 over y raised to 0 is equals to 1 over 1. Kaya, ang palin yun. Okay? Next, let's have the negative exponent. Sabi sa negative exponent ay ganito. X raised to negative m is equals to 1 over x raised to m. While kapag 1 over x raised to negative m, which is nasa denominator siya, yan yung magiging equal sa x raised to m. So, ulit natin yung sa quotient rule. Kasi sabi sa quotient rule, x raised to m over x raised to n is equal to x raised to m minus n, where m is greater than n. Ang mangyayari, 1 over x raised to n minus n if m is less than n. So, remember, ay magsasubtract kasi dapat sa mas mataas. And unfortunately, dahil nga merong nagsubtract sa mas mababa, kaya nagkakaroon ng negative. So, ang mangyayari, ganito yan. So, kung nasa numerator siya, ang exponent ha, tandaan, exponent po, yung negative na titingnan nyo, hindi po yung kung exponent, si base ay negative, negative x yan, it doesn't matter. Ang kailangan mo lang tingnan is yung kung may exponent niya. Kasi kapag may negative naman, nagre-remain lang. Kapag negative yung base, nagre-remain lang sa numerator. So, ganoon. Kapag nasa numerator, di ba nasa numerator yan? Kasi over 1 yan, wala siyang denominator. Pupunta siya sa baba or sa denominator. Ngayon naman, kapag naman nasa denominator siya, na may negative siya, mag-move siya sa taas. Kaya kung mapapansin dito, wala na siyang denominator. Kasi napunta na siya sa taas. So, let me give you an example. So, parang kanina, mention ko lang, ito, negative 10. Yung negative, yung 10, hindi yung exponent niya. So, hindi siya ililipat. Okay? Example tayo is negative 2 power of xy. So, apply muna natin yung laws of exponent. Pwede naman, or pwedeng ilipat na natin dahil na negative siya, tapos nasa numerator, di ba? Bakit numerator? Kasi wala siyang denominator. Ibig sabihin, over 1 yun. So, dahil nga negative ito, ibig sabihin, dapat mapunta sila sa baba. So, ibig sabihin, magiging 1 over the square of xy. Yan. And then, syempre, dapat, with the application of the laws of exponent. So, dahil power rule, multiply natin to dito and down. So, dapat, alam niyo yung laws of integral exponent. So, we have 1 over x squared, y squared. Kasi, 2 times 1 is 2, and then 2 times 1 is 2 pa din. Okay, let's have another example. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Kapag negative siya sa taas, ililipat mo siya sa baba. Parang ang illustration ko nga yan kapag tinuturo ko. Kapag hindi maganda ang nangyayari sa'yo sa isang school, o hindi mo gusto, and you have a choice to move, diba? Mag-move ka ng school. If you have a choice, mag-move ka, lilipat, diba? Yun na naman yung nangyayari doon. So, parang ganun yung concept. Dahil negative na yung mind niya, you need to move. Okay? So, which means, let me use yellow. So, dahil ito ay negative, kailangan mo pumunta dito, as well as ito, kailangan pumunta siya dito. And then, dahil may negative sa denominator, gamit ako ibang color. So, ito naman, dapat pupunta siya dito, sa taas. So, nasobrahan ng arrow. So, dito. Yan. And then, after we move muna tayo. So, yung a squared, syempre magiging positive na kasi minubo na natin. So, yung b cube, dun pa din sa taas kasi hindi siya move. And then yung c raised to 5, magiging c raised to positive 5 kasi minove na. So, ibig sabihin, okay na to. And okay na din to. Okay, yung denominator naman. Yung a, ito, hindi natin ililipat. So, a cube. By the way, lagyan pala natin ng dot kasi parang multiplication. And then, ito hindi rin ililipat. So, and then ito, ililipat yung, so, pupunta natin sa taas. So, b raised to 1. Pero dahil yung 1 hindi naman po sinusulat, buburahin ko na. And then, we will do the operation. Ganito ha. Kapag common between the numerator and denominator, pinagma-minus yun. Pero pag magkatabi sila sa numerator, magkasama sila sa numerator, or magkasama sila sa denominator, product rule yun. So, ang mangyayari ay, let me use a red one. So, this is b raised to 3 plus 1 kasi product rule. And then yung a, dalawa yung a, isang raised to 2, isang raised to 3. Sorry. So, addition dapat yun. Bakit ba b? So, c raised to 5 plus 1. Saan galing yung 1? Kasi diba pag walang exponent, may 1 doon. Okay, so let's write now our final answer. It's already 12:51 on my clock. Okay, so we have b raised to 4 over a raised to 5. C raised to 6. Ayan. So, yan yung naging final answer. Kasi ito, 3 plus 1 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 1 is 6. Ayan. So, ganun kapag negative yung exponent. And, let's have another example. Ayan. So, let me have negative 4, a raised to 5, b raised to negative 3, c raised to negative 2. Again, kapag negative yung exponent, move. Exponent, kulang ha. So, let me write my given. Okay. Nilugan ko yung kailangan ilipat para magkaintindihan tayo. So, ito lilipat. Hindi ko nalagyan ng arrow. Baka medyo magulo. And then, syempre yung yellow, i-move natin sa baba. And let me use green, yung ililipat pataas. Okay. So, look at this. Negative 4. Yung negative, yung 4. Hindi yung exponent niya. So, don't ever move this sa baba kasi hindi naman yung exponent niya negative. Yun itself. So, yun po. Common, naging error yan ng student kasi kala nila basta may negative, minimove. Ang pinag-uusapan pong i-move na kapag may negative is the exponent. Okay. So, let me move. Sulat na rin muna yung mga hindi mag-move. So, hindi mag-move yung negative 4. Hindi mag-move yung a raised to 5. Hindi rin mag-move yung c raised to 5. And then, yung i-move na natin. Yung b cube. Yung b raised to negative 2, yung b cube. Yung c squared, c raised to negative 2, yung c squared. Kasi na-move na kaya yung positive. And then, ito na tayo, and then this. So, a raised to 8, and then b raised to 4. Nakalimutan ko lang yung dot for the multiplication operation. So, again, kapag magkasama lang sila sa magkakatabi, minumultiply yun. Pero kapag between numerator and denominator, tapos may common, sinasubtract yan. Okay? So, sulat muna natin in doing the operation. So, yung A, parehong may A. Kaya, 5 plus 8 yun. Kasi product rule. Yung B raised to 4, mga kapareho doon. Pero sa baba, meron. And then, times, yung C is meron pareho, 2 and 5. So, which means, ito tsaka to pwede na natin din gawin. Let me erase yung 3. Kasi quotient rule. So, let's minus 3 dito. Kasi, ito yung common niya. Yan. So, di ba kapag may common na variable sa taas at sa baba, pinagsasubtract yung exponent nila. Kaya, makikita niyo subtraction. So, let me write my final answer. May negative 4, wala na exponent, so still negative 4. Then A raised to 13 kasi 5 plus 8. And then B raised to 1. But since 1 ay hindi na po kailangan isulat kapag raised to 1, bubrahin natin yung 1. And then we have C raised to 2 plus 5 is C raised to 7. So, that is how you do the negative exponent. Laws for rational exponents are the same as the laws of integral exponent. So, when we say rational exponent, kasi ang exponent nila ay fraction. So, makakita kayo ng x raised to m over n. Ganyan. So, yung mga exponent. So, magkakaroon din tayo dyan ng power rule, product rule. So, kumbaga parang x raised to m over n times x raised to p over q. So, kapag ganyan, i-add pa rin natin. Yun. Yan. Kapag nakakita naman tayo ng x raised to m over n, at naka-raise sa p over q, syempre, ganun pa rin, i-multiply pa rin. And remember, kapag multiplication of fraction is numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So, we have m times p over n times q. So, this is just an illustration. And ganun din kapag x raised to m over n, and another x raised to p over q naman. So, dahil same variable sila sa numerator and denominator, ima-minus natin yung exponent nila. Yan. Siyempre, if needed to find for the LCD, so meron pa rin dito application ng laws of, ng fraction. Okay, so let me continue. So, meron din ditong power of a quotient and then power of a product. So, let me let me illustrate this by showing you an example. So, example tayo is 3 raised to 1/2 ay meron pang power outside. So, this is a power rule. So, kapag power rule, minumultiply. And again, kapag multiplication of fraction, A over B times C over D is equals to AC over BD. So, 3 raised to 1/2 times 6. So, mangyayari dyan, dito lang i-multiply. So, mangyayari is 3 raised to 6 over 2. Of course, kapag fraction, sinisimplify. So, 3 raised to 3. And, of course, pwede pang kuhain yung value. So, that is 27. So, next is 6 raised to 4/4. And then, x raised to 2 over 2. And then, meron siyang exponent na 2. So, either of the two na distribute nyo, kasi gano'n naman gagawin. Or, kung pwede namang masimplify yung exponent. By the way, if you could simplify sa loob pa lang, kung may masisimplify na kayo, simplify nyo na bago natin i-distribute yung power na nasa labas. So, we have 6x, and then naka-raise ito. Paano yung nangyari? Kasi diba 4 divided 4 is 1, and we are not writing the exponent of 1. So, same way with 2 over 2. So, distribute na lang tayo. So, 2, erase mo doon, ganyan. So, 6 raised to 1 times 2, and x raised to 1 times 2. So, we have 6 squared, x squared. And since we could get 6, our final answer on this given is yung 6. Ang sagot sa 6 times 6 is 36, hindi po 12. Kasi may mga gumagawa pa rin po ng ganyan. They multiply the base of the exponent. So, again, when you have exponent, it means that you will multiply that number to itself by how many times, or what is your exponent. So, yun po. And, before I go to the next page, another example. Para sayang ng space. So, we have a raised to 8. Naka-raise sa 1/2. So, parang ganito din siya. And ganito. Kaya lang, exponent nito. Ito, yung nasa labas. Yung fraction. So, ganun pa din. Distribute natin. Let me write in red. So, 4 raised to 6 kasi may exponent siya. Times 1/2. Then, a raised to 8 times 1/2. Again, numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So we have 4 raised to 6 over 2 and a raised to 8 over 2. And of course, simplify natin. So 4 raised to 3 kasi 6 divided 2 is 3. And then a raised to 4 kasi 8 divided 2 is 4. And since we could get 4, let me write the final answer in black. Kasi 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. So that is 64. And then yung a raised to 4, wala pa naman value yung a. So that is the answer. Okay. And last example is 27 m raised to 12 p raised to 9 and then raised to a power of 1/3. Okay, so power of a product ulit. So ayan, i-distribute natin dyan. Ayan. So let me write 27 raised to 1 times 1/3 m raised to 12 times 1/3 and p raised to 9 times 1/3. So let's multiply. So ito ay 27 raised to 1/3 pa din. Ito ay m raised to 12 over 3. Ito naman ay p raised to 9 over 3. So let's simplify the fraction. So we have 27 raised to 1/3. Hindi na simplify ang 1/3. So I will show later kung anong magiging itsura niya. But there will be another tutorial about that thing. So m raised to 4 kasi 12 divided 3 is 4. Then p raised to 3 kasi 9 divided 3 is 3. So ito na lang. Paano yan? So ang ibig sabihin po niyan ay cube root of 27 dahil sa concept ng x raised to m over n is equals to m root of x raised to m. So meron na lang, that's another story. So let's write the other given or answer. So kunin na lang muna natin to. Huwag muna na tayong mag-focus dito. Though there will be another lesson about that. So we have the cube root of 27 is ano daw yung number na pag minultiply mo sa sarili niya ng 3 beses ay 27 ang answer. That's 3. And then copy natin yung variable kasi nakasimplified na yun. Okay, so that is how you will do the rational exponent.